Broadcasting from the sun-drenched streets in Hollywood, California, this is the Headcase Games iPhone development video log number 4, where I sit here, a grown man of 35 years old, and talk to a little tiny web camera about what's important in the world of video games for the next 5 minutes. My name is Ron Alpert. I'm an iPhone app developer with HeadcaseGames.com. Jumping right in, I'll talk about what's going on with our new app, well, our latest app, 180, which has been out for several months. Programmer and I have been working to put together an update. It's been a lot of start and stop, as real life is always kicking in it, taking precedence, but it looks like we should be ready to get it submitted hopefully in another week or so. I've probably been saying that for a few weeks now, but some other businesses kicked up lately, which has absolutely sort of forced us to get a move on with this game. So it's nice to know we can finally close the book on this and move on. I'm very eager to get it out and wrap up the rest of the promotion for the game. Other than that, things are fairly quiet on that front. I have a few things going around in my head that I'd like to start prototyping. I'm still working with another programmer outside of Headcase to help him finish up his game, and then hopefully we can go on from something there to do some interesting things as well. As I always say, keep watching. You'll hear about it when I know about it. Otherwise, things are fairly quiet in iPhone world. It's getting to be kind of that part late in the or early in the season, I suppose, where a bunch of big things have just come out. A bunch of bigger things are going to come out later. So right now they're sort of just, it's just kind of flat, which is kind of how I like it. So that if I have something that I want to talk about, there's actually a little bit more audience for it right now, as opposed to people jumping and falling all over the bigger things that are going on in the media right now. Tokyo Game Show had just been going on, I believe, this past week. The big news over there was about what had been happening with the new Nintendo system. Their 3DS, which has been shown, I guess, at E3 this past, I believe it was June or July. You know, the months all kind of run together. But yeah, I got my hands on that thing for a minute. I didn't get to actually play any games on it, but I did at least get to hold it and watch a little bit of a pre-rendered video playing on it. It was neat. I can see why people are excited about it, and I'm definitely interested to get my hands on one and actually play some games. The software lineup that they have looks pretty amazing, but they also announced that, at least in Japan, it's going to come out to the equivalent of about $300, which I think is a fairly high price for such a device, especially since a lot of people still look at that as a sort of a secondary game playing system as opposed to a dedicated system that they'd hook up to their HD TV or something like that. So $300 without having any real pack-in software or dedicated title or whatever you want to say. That went from a day one purchase to me to I'll play my friends. Maybe I'll pick it up used a year and a half after it's been out. I'm not so interested in plunking down that much money for something that probably I wouldn't get too much time to use anyway. But it's very interesting to see when a company like Nintendo makes a decision like that, since they've always been kind of the market leader in such things. A lot of people are thinking about, what does this mean for Sony? What are they going to do to counter this? All they have to do is release a follow-up to their PSP system, a proper PSP 2, and then just price it significantly cheaper than what they're asking for this 3DS system, and then it should be a home run. And to that criticism, I say, I don't know. I mean, they don't exactly have the best history with such things. I like Sony. I think they're a very important and powerful company, and they've done a lot for this industry. And I wish them much success in the future. But as far as their decisions in the mobile space, which is admittedly a very difficult space to exist in, even when you're coming from the mainstream space, it's difficult. When you're going up against someone like Nintendo that's had dominance for the better part of 20 years in this particular avenue, then if you don't do exactly what they're doing and you do something a little bit different, it's gonna cost you. At least if you have kind of a flaky plan, and that's kind of what's been the case. So I don't know. I'm not really looking terribly too forward to what Sony's going to do with their PSP. Their Move system, their motion controller system, just released, I believe, in the stores a couple weeks ago, and it's kind of odd. I mean, there's no buzz about it. I don't hear any of my friends talking about it. The press doesn't really seem to be jumping all over it at all. The Xbox system will be out. The Kinect, I'm not sure when that's releasing. I assume probably in the next couple of months or so. There'll probably be a little bit more fanfare for that. But for both of these things, again, this isn't the mobile space so much as the consumer electronic console space or whatever. I don't know. I feel like this is just kind of intended to be a stopgap between now and whatever's supposed to come next, and they don't really know what they want to do next. Obviously, they want to keep kind of coasting on what they've got, which is pretty substantially built up and supposed to last for a little while. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens next. As far as all this motion control stuff goes, I think this fad is kind of wearing thin. Otherwise, I should talk a little bit about iPhone stuff. Last week, I talked a little bit about. I was going off about Angry Birds and being critical of that game. As many people know, that is the #1 app in the App Store for many months now, minus a little bit of deviation here and there. I actually referred to it as Bird Strike for a moment at the beginning of my rant last week, and I want to take the time to correct that. Bird Strike is a completely different game, has nothing to do with Angry Birds, other than the fact that they share a common word in the title. Bird Strike actually is an excellent game, and I suggest that you download it. At least look at the light one, if nothing else. If you like those doodle jump type jumping games and such, where you have a character at the bottom of the screen that you have to guide them to the top, you'll definitely like this. This game is not a ripoff of that. It's actually something different, and it's very cleverly put together. Very nice production value. Again, they have a free version which you can check out, but I think if you haven't seen the game, you definitely should. Angry Birds, on the other hand, again, I was kind of critical about it last time. I've played it a little bit more finally in the week since, and it's grown on me a little bit rather. It's a nice game. I appreciate the high production value, and it definitely is addictive. It's a harder game than I'd expected it to be, especially considering the super casual platform that it's on. I still compare it a lot to Crush the Castle, another similar game which is available on the system. Crush the Castle still being my preferred game. Also, it's not my preferred game because it's easier, but because it's easier, I would expect that it's more accessible to the casual base. Anyway, check out both of those games. Other than iPhone stuff, I guess I will just say we've launched our freeapptracker.com website. That website, which will basically every day promote a free app. If you're a developer and you're interested in having your app show up on our website, as long as it's free. Not a free version, but if you're actually going to lower the price to free temporarily, give us a ring or give me an email and we'll see what we can do about that. If you're interested, it would be good for us too. If you are just a Twitterer or a Facebook person, watch our site, repost whenever we post up there, and you can win an app every single day. Any app that you choose within a couple dollars. We are putting out a survey right now to collect data based upon people that have downloaded the free version of our last game, 180. If you've downloaded that game, and regardless of whether you liked it or not, I'd be very appreciative if you check out our survey. I'll link it down below in the notes. We'll do a drawing from all the people that participate, and 2 people will be selected from there, and they'll win iTunes credit for $4.99 towards, again, whatever apps you like. So again, please be very brutally honest in that survey. It's super quick. It'll take you barely 2 minutes to go through it, but we need that data, so it'll help us make better products for you in the future. Other than that, I guess today is Thursday. It's kind of wrapping up, but if you're a Twitterer, you should check out #IndieApp, I believe. Yeah. So Tiny Technician is another iPhone app developer friend of mine, and they started a new promotion called IndieApp Thursdays. So type in #IndieApp when you want to write something about either a development that you've done or a development that you're a fan of if you're just a gamer, or something that you just want to help promote or draw some attention to. Now is the time for us little guys to sort of help each other out, or us fans of the little guys to help prop each other up and spread the word. So yeah, definitely check that out. I'll link that also in the notes down below. That should wrap it up for today. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good day.